Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Monday night call. Someone's at my door. I will be right back again.
Oh my God. Good thing I'm here. I don't have any kids. I do have dogs, but they're not barking, so that's a good thing. Yet, anyways, they're not barking.
Okay, guys, this is real life. I'm back. And I apologize. My daughter's really sick, and someone was knocking at the door. So welcome to me, Hot Mess Monday. Lucky for you guys, I have an awesome guest speaker on the call with us. Her name is Michele Abbenante. Abbenante, Michele, is that how you say it? Abbenante?
Abbenante, but you can say it however it works.
Abbenante. Michele has been an amazing addition to our team. She joined under Janelle. And Michele, I'm just going to pretty much hand it over to you and let you tell your story. I know that Michele is an amazing real estate broker in New York and Florida. She is fearless. She is rocking her plexus business like I've never seen before. She has an amazing team that they just do so much together, and they're so fun, and they love each other, and they support each other so much. So I couldn't think of anybody better today to ask to be on the call, and she was so awesome to be able to get on last minute. And so Michele, I'm just going to hand it over to you. If you could tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I was hoping that you could share a little bit about your health testimony real quick with us.
Okay, so I've basically been on the product since October. I was introduced to them a couple years ago through Janelle. I just kind of was sitting back, just watching what was going on and seeing everybody's awesome testimonies and everybody losing weight and people not having migraines anymore and all of that. And, but I just really wasn't ready to do anything. And then, in October, I'm in Florida, and I have a house in New York, and I'm a real estate broker up there, and I'm also a broker down here. And the weather in Florida agrees with me much more than New York. So I was here all last summer and went through the hurricane that we had down here. And I'd been really sick for a couple months. And in October, after the hurricane, I just one day looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, I was overweight. I felt like crap. I looked like crap. And I was fat. So I had ordered Plexus products in the summer, but didn't start taking them because I had gotten so sick. And so I just said, I've got these products. I know they work. I've seen so many testimonies, and I'm going to start taking them. Well, that day is the day my life changed. I started taking the products consistently, like you were supposed to take them. And within a couple of weeks, I really started feeling much better, physically feeling better. And within a few more weeks, I started looking much better. And then I really started feeling better. So fast forward from October to January, I think I lost 23 pounds and I just was feeling really good. So about then is when I decided I was going to tell some people. And I'm either, do things 150% or I don't, or I don't want to do it. So I kind of did start just, telling a lot of people. And I'm very fortunate because I live in Florida and, the weather's always great and we're always out with people and we've got a really amazing group of friends down here. And now all of those friends of mine are doing Plexus and that's kind of where we're at. I've got, I think I got like 60 people in our group, and I've got some really, really, really amazing people. I'm very fortunate because that's what makes this work for me, is not just me. Of course, I'm very into this, and I'm pretty exuberant, and I like to share the products. I almost feel guilty if I don't share the products at this point because I know that they help so many people. And I mean, my group, we don't travel lightly. So there could be 20 or 30 of us at any given time on a weekend we go out. And they all know if they see me talking to somebody, I'm talking Plexus. So because of, I think, my exuberance and the way I like to share Plexus, they're all doing that, which is really making the whole thing really, really grow. I think we signed up 30 people last month, and I think this month is going to be even better. So that's kind of it. That's my story. I'm just thrilled with the products. I'm really, really happy about Joyum, which I've been using for 4 days. So I don't know. Time will tell. I'll just see how it works. But so far, I'm pretty happy with it.
Michele, can you share with us what products you take on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do things a little bit different, but that's the story of my life. But some things I kind of stick with the routine. But I do get up in the morning, I drink my coffee, and while my coffee is, I'm drinking my coffee, which, you know, now because of Block and the other products I'm taking, I drink like a half a cup of coffee. But I got my Slim mixing, and I'll drink my Slim within like 15 minutes or whatever. And then, you know, I don't eat for a while, at least a half an hour to an hour, sometimes more, because I tend to get quite busy. And then when I have my first meal, I'll take my X Factor Plus, which I love. By the way, I'm a breast cancer survivor. Well, I hate to say I'm a survivor. I hate to be that cocky when it comes to cancer. So I usually tell people I'm surviving. But so my hair was gone at that point, and you know, this is what it came back at. So love it or hate it, it's what it is. It is what it is.
It's
But my
beautiful.
hair was, well, thank you. My hair was quite thin for a while, and I really know with X Factor Plus, it's getting really nice and thick. So that's a definite plus. And the hot flashes and night sweats mine were to a minimal anyways by now in my life, but that has definitely, I don't have any more of those. So definitely X Factor Plus. Vital Biome I really like that. I take that in the morning with an accelerator, which accelerator I took it a lot in the beginning, and then I just really started taking it again because I kind of plateaued out for a few weeks. I started at 172, and I'm go between 145 and 147. So, which, you know, hey, I haven't been in the 140 since I was in my 40s, so I'm pretty happy with that. But I always tell people, don't get caught up in the scale, because for me, I made a genetic
Oh no.
way. Just, I mean, the fat just disappears. I don't know where it goes, but wherever it goes, I don't want it back. So anyways, all right, with that being said, I take the accelerator now quite often. And Block, which I love Block. So so I take that all in the morning with my first meal. But the thing is, I take my stuff after I eat. I know you guys are like, well, you're supposed to take it before. Well, because I'm a real estate broker and I'm very busy with Plexus at this point in time, I tell everybody I'm just kind of fitting real estate into my Plexus business right now. I never know when I'm going to eat. So, I mean, I could get ready to eat and take my Block, but then not eat for 3 hours after because I've had 30 phone calls. So I like to take all that stuff after I eat. Block, I take after every meal. Whether it's a heavily carb meal or not, my feeling is every meal has carbs in it. So I like to take one after all my meals, and it works for me. And that's the other thing, you know, this is not an exact science, kind of like real estate, not an exact science. You know, neither is Plexus products. We're all different. And you know, everybody's going to find what works best for them. For me, this is what works best for me. So that's kind of my first meal routine. And then I do take the BioCleanse 2 times a day in between my meals. And here's another thing. I usually take one. Sometimes I take 2, but most times 1 works very fine for me. So that's what I take. And then at night I take the ProBio. And that's basically it. That's what I take. I do like to try the other products. So I've tried a few things, like actually I took an Edge before about an hour or so ago because I wanted to be able to focus, and I do think that helps. So if you guys have never tried Edge, you might want to try that. It does kind of sharpen your focus and kind of keep on track a little bit. So let's hope it works tonight that way.
One thing I'm going to interrupt really quick, Michele, is
yeah.
because you guys, I think the last call, I don't know who was on, but I shared how I took my products, and I shared that I just restarted Boost. Boost, I hated the first time I took it. I couldn't even stick with it for a week because it just made my heart pound so much. Boost and Edge, I could not take. Edge just made me feel crazy. It made my heart pound out of my chest. But recently I added Boost back in and I loved it. So I was like, well, you know what? If I love Boost this time, I'm going to try Edge again. And Edge this time around, I am like the Energizer bunny when I take Edge this time. I love it. So I want to just share my routines for anybody that didn't hear it on the last call. And that's what I think, like Michele said, people don't always take the products her way. They're not going to everybody's take. The best thing about products is that they're so, everybody could take them their way. They're so easy to switch around, and they're so like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but you can take them the way that works for you, and you can play around with it. If you try them one way and they don't work, try it a different way. And that's why it's so important to ask other people how they take their products. So I wake up and I do my pink drink. I take 2 X Factor Plus. If I'm going to the gym, I take 2 Boost. If I'm not going to the gym, I tend not to take Boost because it makes me still a little bit jittery. So on the days that I don't go to the gym, I take Edge, and then I feel amazing. I don't take anything during the day until about 4 o'clock. I take my 4 BioCleanse together, and then at bedtime, I take 4 probiotics and 2 more BioCleanse. So that's 4 probiotics in a day, 6 BioCleanse total, and 2 Mega X. And I, like Michele, I take block as needed if I go out to eat or if I'm going to have a few adult beverages. So I think I just wanted Michele to share how she took her products, because I'll post some of her before and after pictures, but she has just had an amazing health testimony and an amazing weight loss testimony. So thank you for sharing that, Michele. Now let's go on to the fun stuff, because everybody wants to know how you are rocking this business so much, how you are one of our #1 recruiters, and how did you sign 25 level 1s? Give us a couple of instances of where maybe. One thing I love about Michele is she's very like me, where she's fearless. She can talk to anybody about Plexus. So Michele, if you could just share a little bit of how you have signed and added 25 people to our team, and just a few tips about that.
Well, first of all, I got a great team. I got some really, really, really amazing people. And I mean, I've got a whole variety. I mean, I've got a bunch of nurses that are in Plexus, and they've all joined for different reasons. Not all for weight loss, but some for, I have one lady, her name is Kim. She didn't need to lose a pound or an inch. And she was having problems sleeping, and she had fibromyalgia, which I can never say that word, but you all know what I'm talking about. And she had said to me, and she had watched me with Plexus and everything, and she was like, if this works for me, she goes, I'm going to shout it from the rooftop. So if she could sleep, and the very first night she drank pink, she slept that night. So that pretty much, hooked her, I guess, sold her on the product, but, not as much as like fast forward now to a month and a half later, when she's really, her pain has decreased and everything else. And she's starting to sign up other people too. And so we've got a couple of her nurse friends that are in. So I think I've got like 4 nurses under me, which is really, really awesome, because, they know medicine, and they know, the whole thing with the the vital biome and the whole concept with the probiotics and all that. They get it. So for them, it's just a natural. So it's awesome having them. And then I got some flight attendants from Southwest, which anybody that was on the beginning of this call, they heard Miguel. He's a very good friend of mine. And so we've got him and his girlfriend, and yesterday they brought over another flight attendant friend, and we signed her up. So before you know it, we're going to have all of Southwest, I would imagine, because if you think I'm a talker, you got to meet Miguel. Amen. So anyways, so I really can't take all the credit myself, because I have an amazing team. So that's a plus. But my story is a lot different than a lot of people. I was at the Orlando opportunity meeting, And, you know, a lot of people that are in Plexus are younger people that are just starting to raise their kids, or they're, you know, they're raising their kids or teenagers or whatever. Well, I'm past that. And I'm in Florida, so I'm, you know, the weather here is conducive. And so, and I have a huge group of friends. So that's really how why I signed 25 up. And I'm always working at 5 or 6. So I encourage everybody to have a list. And, you know, I'm not saying you got to sit there every day and look at your list, but, you know, just, you know, cross everyone out. And, you know, again, I don't ever feel like I am selling anything. And I really, you know, I really tell this to everybody in my group, you know, we're sharing the love. We're sharing the Plexus love, and now we're sharing the Plexus joy. So it's really, you know, that's really how I feel. I feel like I'm sharing something, and that's really, really good for people. And, you know, not everybody's open to it. Not everybody's open at first, but, you know, eventually, usually they come around. I mean, in the last couple of days, I've had 3 or 4 people that I've signed up that have been just sitting back like I was, watching what was going on Facebook, which is the best marketing tool in the world. So if people are not taking advantage of that, you know, that's a big mistake, because that is really key to network marketing, and especially this, you know, especially with Plexus, because people see your picture, and I always say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And, you know, and especially if you have the 3 pictures like I use together, the before Plexus, the January picture, and the now picture, you know, 3 pictures are really worth 1,000 words. So, you know, that's, you know, and that's also when I go to sign somebody up, I think this is a big plus too. You know, I have a whole group chat thing already set up on my iPad in my photos. So, you know, whether I'm helping one of my team members sign people up, or I'm doing it myself, I use the same material every single time. And duplication is super, super key. And that's what I tell my first levels, you know, what I'm showing you right now, this is for you to carry on with your team, because we're all going to keep growing so much that I'm not always going to be able to have direct contact with everybody. So it's important that, you know, I'm teaching you what to do, you teach them what to do, they teach their people. And if we don't do that, it is not going to continue to grow. So far, it is working for us and our team.
Absolutely.
So, you know, and the other, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, finish your thought, and then I'll ask you.
Yeah, no. So the other thing is, you know, I always tell them too, first of all, what you see with me is what you get. You might not like it, but this is it. This is real. And I am like this all the time. And all these people that are, you know, on my downline would probably attest for that. I'm very excited about Plexus. I'm pretty exuberant, and always have the excitement. When you share when you share it, be excited. When you are talking to your group, be excited, because excitement breeds excitement. And that's what sells it. That and honesty, you know, I mean, I've been in sales my whole life because I've owned a real estate company in Hudson Falls, New York. And then, you know, I'm a broker in Florida, and I had retail stores before that. So I've been in sales my whole life, but this is not a sale to me. This is truly, truly telling something about something that is going to change their life. Whether it's changing their life, the products, you know, they're going to start feeling better, and they're going to get healthy, and they're going to lose weight, and all of that great stuff. But also, you know, don't forget the money making potential that this company has. I mean, I just got a check today for $650, and then another one for $150. I mean, that was just today what came. I'm used to making money. So again, my situation's a little different than a lot of people just starting out. I'm used to making money, but you know what? The money in Plexus it's a very generous compensation plan once you get to know it. And I encourage everybody in your team to get to know that comp plan, because it's not as difficult as you think it is. It's very lucrative, and you know, if you explain it properly, so people can understand it and then they get that, then, that's a whole different ball game too. Some people are very business minded and that's what they're interested in. So I think that that's also very, very important to teach your downline. Don't be afraid to let somebody know that, that this is also a business. I mean, first of all, it's about the products. Definitely for me. First of all, it's about the products and your health. Second comes the money. The money is very good. And don't be afraid to teach people how to make money, how to structure their downline. That is another thing that is very, very important when it comes to network marketing. Structuring your downline properly in the beginning. Do you agree, Jody? Hello?
She stepped away.
Okay. Well, anyways. So, for me, it's just been life changing, and I know it will change a lot of people's lives. And really, I am to the point right now where I feel guilty if I don't share it. I mean, I can be out someplace and somebody can be, telling me, they have migraines, and I'm like, oh my God, they don't know me. They're not going to, they don't know me enough to trust me like my other friends do. But you know what? I'm going to tell them because if I don't, I feel guilty. So, I'm sharing it all over. Everywhere I go, I share Plexus. Everywhere I go. So everybody knows, oh my God, there she is. She's talking about Plexus again. But hey, real estate's my business. Plexus is my passion. I think that's obvious. So
Michele, could you give us for instance, I think one of my strong points too is just I'm bold and I'm just like you. If I overhear a conversation in the grocery store, at a doctor's office, I look for opportunities and I listen for opportunities to be able to tell people about it. And I can't tell you how many people that I've met just doing it that way. So can you think of a couple of instances that maybe, you could share that might encourage people or give people the verbiage to talk to strangers? Because I know that's something that a lot of people struggle with, is the confidence. And I think one thing is I wasn't confident before Plexus. I was actually the total opposite. And I don't know about you, but you seem like just a very smart, confident woman. And one thing that I love about you is because your belief is just so strong with Plexus. Like there is nothing that could shake your belief. And I think that people are struggling with their business, maybe struggling with their belief. Maybe their results aren't as, big as yours, or their weight loss wasn't as big as mine, or whatever. But I really think that belief is key to being successful with the business. So totally off tangent, but could you share a little bit about what you think about belief and a couple for instances of maybe how you talk to strangers when you're out in everyday life?
Okay. Well, first of all, about belief. Okay. And I'm very I've always been very fussy how I run my businesses, in New York and Hudson Falls. I'm sure you guys know Hudson Falls, but and I did primarily horse properties, and I used to have like 10 agents when I was up there. But I was always, to me, it's always about reputation and, always being honest with people and all of that. And, I went to that opportunity meeting in Orlando a month and a half ago, and I can't wait for the next one that's coming up in June. Now, already we've got a bunch of my Florida friends are going to go, and I'm going to be meeting Jody for the first time. I've never met her. I've never met Aaron. Unfortunately, Janelle's not going to be able to go, unfortunately. But, and with that being said, I do want to skip back and tell you, that is another thing where I also, not only my downline that is, that I'm successful, that's not the only reason, but my upline also. So I definitely want to give a lot of credit to my upline, Jody, Janelle, Aaron, and probably more that I haven't even met yet. But, and I feel very, very fortunate, and I hope you guys all do too, because I think we have a very special group. I mean, I don't know other groups, but I know my group, the people that are under me, I know we're special. There's no doubt about that one. But I really feel that we are just all so lucky to be in this whole group, because it's so supportive. And, I had an unfortunate thing happen today where I have one of my girls, her name is Denise, and I'm sure she's on, and she's amazing. She, if anybody, Denise is a little on the meek and mild side. And if it, if anybody you would have thought probably is not going to, might not be able to share Plexus, it might be Denise. But let me tell you, I was wrong about that one, because she's been on Plexus about a month and a half, and she's lost all sorts of inflammation. I mean, I didn't, I would used to look at Denise and I would say she's kind of puffy looking, but I never considered her fat. But since she's been on Plexus a month and a half, I wish Jody could put on some pictures. I would, but I don't know how to do it. So
wait, you can send me some and I'll post them in our team group.
Okay, all right, yeah, I sent you a bunch today on Messenger. But anyways, so Denise put her pictures on Facebook, and she signed 10 people up within that week. So she's she's definitely got the Plexus passion, and she definitely sharing the Plexus love. So, but for her, it's changing her life even in more ways, because she's a single woman, and like Jody was. And she's just, making her ends meet. So for the first time, she's got light at the end of this tunnel that she's been in, because not only is she feeling better and looking better and all that good stuff, but she's also starting to make some halfway decent money. So, and the only thing we're limited by, and I always tell all my team, I have no question, I'm going to be a diamond. And so are you guys. I'm taking you all with me. So, we're going to go to Hawaii. And when we come back, we're going to be driving our Plexus Lexuses. And I have no doubt about that. And that's how I always want them all to think. You know what? If Jody can do it, and if Aaron can do it, and everybody else can do it, there's no reason I can't do it. There's no reason they can't do it. And there's no reason you can't do it. So, kind of got off on a tangent. I don't even remember what Jody asked me.
I don't know about you guys, but I just love your confidence. I just feel like your confidence and your energy and your positive attitude is just trickling down to your team. And how could you not have a leader like you and be excited to be on your team? And I just know how supportive you are of them and how much fun you guys have together. So, if you take anything away from this call, if you have one person on your team or you have 500 people on your team, you guys love on them. If you have a local area, which I have to start doing this more, have people come over to your house, go out and sing karaoke together as a team. Let's get Plexus shirts like Michele is. You guys, if we had Plexus shirts, there's no way we're not going to create, some excitement at somewhere. We could start doing fundraisers together. We could, the possibilities are endless.
Well, that's what we just did. Actually, I just ordered a really cool pink tent. It's going to be delivered tomorrow, and we'll put some pictures on the site of it. On Jody's site of it. But anyway, so I ordered that. I'm in the process of getting banners made, and we're getting t-shirts made. And for us girls, they're going to be really cute tank tops. And, a lot of us have lost some weight, so we're kind of really looking halfway decent now. And it's not just girls we got on our team. We've got a really good couple friends of mine, Rick, and his wife is Deb. And I also want to share a testimony about his, because his is really amazing in a minute. But, anyway, so we're going to start doing some things like we have Friday Fest down here, which are pretty cool. It's kind of like a, arts and crafts type of deal, and they got a band playing and stuff. So we're going to start doing that, but we're going to do our thing a little bit differently. So we're going to have 20 of us, okay? We're all going to have our Plexus shirts on, and a couple people are going to be at the booth. And then everybody else is going to be out with business cards. And that's another thing. This is a business. So take it seriously. Get business cards, pass them out. And I don't know if you guys can see this because I'm not that good at this. But so anyways, I ordered business cards, a bunch of business cards in the beginning. And I got these ones that, can you see this, guys?
Yeah.
These. Okay, so there's a blank spot on these. There you go. And the reason I do this is because when I get new people, I give them a bunch of these, and they can put their own name in there. So when they first sign up, they have business cards right away. My numbers and stuff are on here. My main Facebook site, which is called Getting Some Pink, is on here. That site originally started out to be my site, but now it's all my ambassador site. So I encourage all of them to add people to that. And that's how, that's one reason Denise got her 10 people in a week, because she listened to me and she was adding people to the Getting some pink site and passing out her cards.
Michelle,
Anyway, so it's just play.
is your I
Yeah.
think if you're in Plexus Success, I think your Getting Pink group is kind of similar to Plexus Success, where you post different testimonies and then you add some of your potentials, kind of similar to that.
Well, in a way, yes, but I have a couple. I have a few different Getting Some Pink sites. I have one that's strictly for ambassadors, okay, and obviously it's what it is. So that's what I use as our training site. And and everybody, again, duplication is key. So like I have a new ambassador, and just like you all do. Sounds like I'm a Floridian, right? You all. Wow, that's up and down here. I guess I need to go. I haven't been home in 3 years. I still have a house up there and a husband up there, but he does come to visit me. Anyways, I don't know what we're doing really works. What was your question, Jody?
I forgot. You expect me?
Okay.
No, but I do have another question.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, you're clearly very, very, very busy. You're a busy woman. You're a successful woman. How do you stay consistent sharing Plexus? Just because you're so excited about it, you can't keep your mind off of it like me. Like, what would be your advice to somebody that's just as busy but uses busyness as an excuse to not be able to work their business? Because if you can work your business and I can work my business with my insane life, there's diamonds that still work full-time and run their business. So what would your best advice be to somebody that may use busyness as an excuse?
It's all about priorities. So, when you're first building this, which is what I'm doing, and, I'm doing it for a number of reasons, mainly because I really, truly believe in the products, and I've always been one that's wanted to help people. And for me, I guess I'm kind of just feeling like this might be part of my purpose in life right now. But I think it's really, really, truly is about priorities. And, I don't know. And I've just been like that with real estate for so long. When somebody calls or somebody needs something, you need to do it then. You don't do it, you don't do it like, tomorrow or whenever. When somebody wants information, they want it then, and I think that's just part of it. I mean, I'm not a TV watcher. So, and I'm right. So, like at night when people might be sitting down to just watch TV or whatever, I'm not. I'm like, I'm like standing up. I'm at my counter. I'm doing stuff with Plexus or whatever. Or we're out. We have like I told you, a great group of friends down here, and we'll all go out. But when we're out, it's just really amazing because now we really got the Plexus fever. I mean, we can be out, and that's what we're talking about is Plexus, which is pretty cool also because, I mean, we were in an Uber the other day, myself and my friend Deb and Rick, and I'm not sure if Miguel was there or not, and Christy, but anyways, we were just talking Plexus and about losing the weight and, just this and this and this. And of course, the Plexus driver, we ended up giving her a couple cards when we got out because she wanted to know more. So, it just, again, it's about priorities. And if you really, truly believe in something, and I do believe that almost everybody that's probably on this call or that has been on Plexus for a while, they know it works and they believe in it. They just don't know how to share it. And I think you just really got to lose that thought in your mind that you're not selling something. You're not trying to push something down somebody's throat. Then the last thing you ever want to do is like, oh my God, here she comes again. I don't ever want to be that person, but it's pretty nice to be that person where, I mean, I'm telling you, daily I get people calling me or texting me. I have this lady, Carol. She's in her early 70s. She's lost 20 pounds in 2 months. I mean, and she's healthy. She's getting healthy. I mean, those are the things. Like my friend Rick, I'm going to get into his testimony now. Hope you don't mind him jumping around, but Jody gave me like 2 hours to do this. So here I am. I'm just kind of going with the flow. So anyways, my friend Rick, right? Rick and Deb, they're very good friends of mine. They're actually Denise, who you've heard about. They're cousins. And anyway, so of course, Deb is on the product. Denise is on the product. His sister's on the product. And So now Rick gets on the product. And, the reason he got on the product is because he's a smoker. And, all these stories about blocks helping people quit smoking, which I really do believe that is true, by the way. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so that's why Rick got on. And then Rick eventually started taking the triplex. And now, boy, Rick has really got he's really got some plexus passion going on. So anyways, the other night we were down in Cocoa Beach and, we were just having a good time and I wanted an ice cream. So, and that's the other great thing about Plexus because you know what, I still eat everything I want to eat. No counting calories, no carb deal, none of that. It's just eat what you want, but just don't eat as much of it because you don't want it. I mean, really, it's a win-win situation. So anyways, we're in Cocoa Beach and he goes, I don't know. He goes, if I get an ice cream, you guys, I'm driving. And he goes, you guys are going to be sorry riding home with me. He goes, because I'm lactose intolerant and it's not nice. And I'm like, oh boy, just do it, Rick. We'll suffer through it. Anyways, he gets the ice cream and, a little bit of time goes by and he's like, I don't believe it. He goes, but I'm not feeling anything from this ice. No lactose intolerant symptoms at all. So we're like, wow, this is great. So he ends up getting me all the way home and there was nothing, which I was pretty happy about, truthfully. Anyways, the next morning he calls me up. He goes, do you know I had no symptoms of being lactose intolerant? Now he's been eating ice cream regularly.
Hopefully.
That's huge. That is huge.
So if you guys know why Michele is passionate, she has 25 level ones. What did you say, 60 people on your team? And everybody is loving the products. So how could you not have such a big belief when there's people probably daily messaging you these testimonies, Michele, which leads me to one last question, then we'll go to question and answers. But how do you stay organized if you're growing so fast? Like you said, 30 people last month, that's incredible. And I think my whole team signed 90 and 30 of them were from you. So that's really incredible. So how do you stay organized so that you know who to check on where, and how do you keep in touch with everybody without getting like,
Okay, well, that organization is always key to any business. And, luckily I do have a little bit of experience at that. But, when I first, knew I was going to start sharing Plexus, and I was a little bit like Denise, how Denise started. So, I knew, I had like, I don't know, 10 or 15 people or whatever, right away. And I just sat there and I said, if I don't get some systems in place and get this figured out and figure out how I'm going to teach them to duplicate, this is going to go nowhere. So right away, I started organizing, right away, I got my Facebook sites together, and I started the ambassador site. And I also do a monthly group chat. So that's the other thing. I don't have a group chat that runs continuously, but I start a new one every month. And that way, if we ever got to refer back to something, that was April's chat or that was May's chat. So, so that's part of it. And then, the big thing is subscriptions. And and I'm sure you all know about signing people up. I mean, I had to learn this from experience from Jody, and I didn't want to listen to her in the beginning when I kept signing people up and I was making mistakes. And she kept saying, just let me do it because, I know the system and I will, I can get you through it a lot easier. Well, now I'm Jody. Now I know all those little tricks on that system. But, you gotta kind of trial and error that. Anyway, so, the first month I tell my ambassadors, you really need to keep track of your new people with subscriptions and everything. Because, they're not going to know. This is very overwhelming in the beginning. They're taking all sorts of products they never took or anything like that. So about a week before, I have a calendar and I write it down when everybody's subscription is coming due. And I encourage my ambassadors, now you're signing people up. You need to start keeping track of your people until you can get them on their feet. So it's just writing things down.
Do you keep track of just your level ones, Michele, or do you keep track of everybody?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get you something. I'm trying to get some things here. I also made this notebooks like this for everybody. So like right in the front, I have the price list which is very important when you're trying to explain to somebody the prices. And this is the calendar that I keep track of, And so when I had my first meeting a month and a half ago, I made up about 12 of these. And there's all sorts of things about the commission and just all sorts of stuff in there. So I gave them to all my first levels. So your answer to that question is, I always keep track of my ones. Sometimes I keep track of the 2s and 3s. It just depends how personally I know them. But then, again, it's duplication. So like somebody like Denise that's got 10 people, I can't take care of 60 people. And if I did, it wouldn't be, I'm not doing anybody justice because, I'm just a worker. I'm not a delegator. And you need to be able to delegate and teach other people how to do it. Again, duplication. So, no, I keep track of everything I can keep track of, all my first levels and a couple levels down, but you got to start getting your, it's like a kid, I hate to compare it like that, but you have to teach them and they have to go out on their own. And that's the way it goes.
I think having a duplicatable system, Jack, I think having a duplicatable system, because you say you can't take care of 60 people, but you're halfway to 60 people yourself. You have 25 level 1s, right? You're going to be at 60 people. Probably, I would guess by the end of June, you're going to be 60 level 1s. I guarantee it. So that's why having a duplicatable system is important, because you are going to be taking care of that many and more. So,
but the longer they're in and the longer I'm in, that's the other thing, because when you're first in, I have to tell you, I signed a few people up in the beginning. I had no clue what I was doing, and really I look back and I'm like, and some of those people have, they're just not doing this. And that was my fault, really, because I didn't teach them. I didn't know myself. So, it's just, it's trial and error and, doing the best you can do. And again, it's about priorities and what you want. And once you see the vision, this is an unbelievable opportunity. This, again, not only the health benefits and the weight loss and everything else, but for, so many people are struggling to make ends meet. And, this is just a no-brainer. If you sit down and you look at that compensation plan, I don't know if you guys have looked at it, but the one chart I absolutely love, which makes it, to me, I'm just getting it, and I sent it to Jody today, but this is
I use that one all the time, too. It's a great one.
All right, so this one right here, and I don't know how much you guys can see of it, but this is like the best way to explain the comp plan. And whenever I explain the comp plan, I always do a copy of my dashboard. And that's the other thing that is really important, is you got to teach people to get on their site and to take their time and just sit down and explore that site. There is so much on there. I haven't even touched the surface yet, because there's a lot of really great stuff, but the only way you're going to figure it out is you got to get in there and do it. But this right here, to have a copy of your dashboard when you're explaining the comp plan, is, in my estimation, the best way to do it and makes it the easiest, because this is showing people in dollars and cents what you are going to make. This was this was the last day of the month, last month. And here's a funny story, but so you need 100 points to be gold. So I had 95 points for like the last few days. So, again, here's the business end of it. So I knew I had to get one of my new people qualified, because, people aren't qualified with just the welcome packs. So Rick, thank God, Rick. I don't know what I'd do without Rick, but Rick and Deb. So I'm like, okay, he just got in last month. So I gave him, some money to buy some products. And actually some of the things I bought was I bought the breast detection thing. Hopefully I'll never need that again. I should have had it years ago, but whatever. Anyways, I wanted it because, and that's the other thing, you got to know your products. You got to know what you're sharing. And that is an awesome product. So anyway, so, because of Rick bought some product, it got his PV up, and bam, he turned over, and so I got my 100 points, and he was the 30th person that went in last month. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But anyways, okay, so that was the last day of the month. This month, I'm already at 115 points, and I'm only halfway through the month. So it shows you how it escalates.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so just quickly, and then I'll just shut up, which I'm sure you're all happy about. So this right here, I don't know if you guys have looked at this, but this is the Plexus points. And Jody, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the points are they're paid $1.80 a point up to $4 a point.
Yeah, they usually, I tell people when I'm comparing as just like an easy, comparison. If I'm Emerald and I need 1,500 points, I usually times it by $3. I tell them it's average. Like, don't quote me. It's not usually, it's a little below $3, but I just use it for, the ease sake of I'm horrible at math. So that would be 4,500. If I had 1,500 points, that would be 1,500 times 3. What is that?
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
$4,500 in my check.
How much?
45. Well,
right. Well, if you figure, and just for simplicity's sake, for Jody to be an Emerald, you need 1,500 points. So if you did 1,500 times $4, which is the max, they say it's the max, but I've heard they have gone higher. That's $6,000 a month just in points. Okay, just in points. Okay, if you go down a little bit further and you go to Diamond, which, hello, I like diamonds. That's where we're going. We're going to get some diamonds. Anyways, 4,500 points, which I believe is Aaron, right? If that's figured at $4 a point, that is $18,000 a month. I mean, hello. You can do it. I can do it. We can all do it.
We can.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I'm comparing it to everybody and explaining pay points, I usually times it by $3 instead of $4, because that's what it's most realistically. But I will, I know people have to hop off and get kids and stuff. So Michele, I just want to thank you so much. First of all, because you're such a last minute, I just thought of you immediately because I just found out today that I was doing the call because I'm horrible at organization. So hopefully your organization skills can rub off on me. But Michele, I also love that, like, you own it. You owned that subscriptions weren't like important to you in the beginning, but you took your sponsor's advice and you're so coachable, and now you're trickling that down to your team. And I think now you have 100% subscription rate. So everybody signs up with a subscription, and that's amazing. So I just love
That's just the way it is. That is the way it is. And I tell everybody with this, you see this? Subscription on. That's important.
Yes.
What's the big deal? And subscription on.
Yep.
So
let's open this to questions. I know you guys, whoever has to hop off can hop off, but if you want to ask us some questions, unmute yourself or type it in the chat below, but I would love to answer any questions that you guys have. I know somebody in one of our team groups wanted to ask how you motivate your team, and I always have the same answer to that. We can motivate them. We could do what Michele does and have parties and get-togethers and go out together, and we could, do Zoom calls like this till the cows come home. But I don't believe you can motivate the unmotivated. So I think they have to be a motivated person. They have to want this. They have to have a big enough why that when they're tired, they'll stay up 15 minutes later. When my kids are screaming and the door is knocking and my baby's upstairs because she can't poop, I just gave her BioCleanse for the first time. I could have easily said, you guys, I can't do this call, but this is real life. Who cares if my kids are screaming? Who cares that I had to run off? You just have to make this a priority to get on these Monday night Zoom calls. Even if you just take a little tidbit from every single call, I just think that you can't motivate the unmotivated, but you can create a culture that they want to be a part of. So if you guys create the fun culture, then I feel like, that's just one step in the right direction of having them want to be a part of it. If they see you having so much fun, who wouldn't want to be a part of the fun? If they see you earning money, and you guys, I don't care if you make $100 a month or $7,000 a month or $30,000 a month as a diamond, share what you make. Be real to people.
Exactly.
Before making $1,500 a month, I was screaming that from the rooftops. And I was also telling them that Aaron was earning $15,000 a month at that time. So people want to know what you're making. Money talks. These products are amazing. They should be streamed from the rooftop. And if your belief isn't 100%, then you guys got to borrow belief from someone else, borrow belief from Michele and I. And if you're not where you are at with your business, then I just go to your sponsor and say, listen, I'm not happy with where I'm at. What can we do? But then you can't just disappear. You have to take some of your sponsor's advice and apply it. So that's our tips for the day. So let's see.
Also, I like what Jody said as far as sharing what you make. Like today, my checks, I copy, or they're not checks because they go on my pay card, which is an awesome thing too. But I screenshot it and I put it right on my ambassador site. And I said, this could be you. All you got to do is, if you care, share. That's it. You can share the love, and this could be you. So, and one other thing, I had started to say this a little bit ago, and I got off on a tangent, surprise. But anyways, about the company, I really feel like this is a great company, and when you go to the meetings, you see more. Because if you don't go to the meetings, you think this is Plexus. What you see is it. Well, it is not all there is. And when you go to the meetings, and that's what started to get some of my team motivated, because they saw that, and that this is not all there is. But I was watching, I want to end that on, I was watching something that I think it was the Canadian whatever, opening or whatever, launch. And what's the owner's name?
Carl?
Pardon?
Carl Robinson?
Yes, him. And he's amazing anyways. But anyway, something he really said, he goes, you know what, with the people that work at the headquarters, which, you know what, they're all amazing people. I mean, sometimes you got some new people there and they might not know everything, but boy, for the most part, they do know everything and they are awesome to deal with. And that is reflective of they're happy with their jobs. And so something he said on that Canadian launch that has stuck with me, that I'm like, I like this guy and I like the way he runs this company. And that is, he said, you know what, I want our people, first of all, to have fun with this. He goes, I want them to look forward to Fridays. He goes, but I also want them to look forward to Mondays. And when he said that, I was like, you know what, this is a great company. This isn't just about making the money, and I don't think they're like that either. It's not, hey, they're in business to make money. That's it, but they put a lot into making sure these products are fantastic, and they have, I think, good ethics. And I'm really quite proud to be a part of Plexus. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Something that you just said reminded me of one other thing. I think a positive attitude, no matter how you're feeling. I mean, we've said it a million times, don't post your negative stuff on Facebook. Go to somebody and tell them privately. But I think that's a given at this point of our game in Plexus. But a positive attitude, like, I can't tell you, you just said how amazing the company is, and I back that 100%. They are amazing. They are the best. This new pink drink, you guys, is because we wanted it. They listened to us. What other company can you say, you know what, I don't like the ingredient in this? If enough of us say it, they change the ingredient if it's for our best interest. If there's something, they're an amazing company. So you know what, if your shipping is normally in 3 days, 4 days tops, if your shipment, takes 7 days one time, let's not complain. Let's be thankful for the times that it only took 3 days. It's not perfect all the time, but no company is perfect all the time. So I think it's important as leaders, if you're on this call and you have one ambassador underneath you, you're a leader. And I think it's super, super important to not share negative thoughts with your teammates. And if they come to you in a group chat, I always say my group chats are for positivity. If somebody has anything negative to say, you go up to your upline privately. You should not ever be posting negative stuff in these team chats, the team groups, because negativity breeds negativity and positivity breeds positivity. And Michele, you are just contagious. Your excitement for this, like, it just reminds me of me, and I love it. So thank you for being on this call. There's another question. I agree with you, but I have one ambassador in Florida and I cannot get her moving. But states, look at Michele and I. Janelle and I have Michele in Florida. Michelle's motivated. That goes with saying you can't motivate the unmotivated. It doesn't matter if I have somebody in Hawaii. You could train them the same way that you treat your people here. Can you not get together with them? Yeah, you can't get together with them, but you can get them on our Monday night calls so they start seeing faces and developing relationships. You can talk to them on the phone. You can FaceTime them. With today's technology, there's no excuse of why, somebody in another state can't be successful too. I mean, look at these diamonds. They have people all over the place.
That Doyle says.
Can I ask her something about the person in Florida?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, where is she? I'm in Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral. Even though she's not on my team, I don't work that way. I'd be more than happy to help her. And if you want to put her on my Getting Some Pink site and, whatever, ironically, I've had a few ambassadors that are on my ambassador site that have asked to join that group that are in Florida that I have no idea who they are. But you know what? I want to help everybody. I don't care if they're on my site or not. I want everybody to do good. So if I can help your person in Florida, by all means, I'm there for you.
Yeah, Kate Desmond says, replace your words. I have one in Florida and I plan to get her motivated and find more people. You can do it. Absolutely. Positive thoughts and positive affirmations to yourselves, guys. I can't stress enough, Michele, how much I love your confidence. And, if you guys don't think you're awesome, then wake up every morning and say, I am awesome, because Michele and Jody told me I'm awesome. I'm awesome. And if you don't believe the next day, wake up and say, I'm freaking awesome, because I'm awesome. I say all the time that my brain doesn't work. So I have to do better waking up every morning and saying, I am smart. My brain does work, even though it doesn't have the time. You have to say that over and over and over to yourself. So if it's something that you don't think you're good at, wake up every morning and tell yourself you are good at that until it happens. Because I'm telling you that these positive affirmations, they work.
Yep. And I always tell everybody, you can do it. I mean, I've always had that mentality anyway. There is nothing that I can't do if I want to do it. And that's the key. If you want to do it, you can do it. You can do it. And that's what I tell all these people. We are going to be diamonds. It's not, oh, maybe, it's not this, it's not, it's yes, we're going to do it. As a matter of fact, I told Taro Robinson, right? That's his name. At the Orlando meeting, I went up to him, I gave him my Plexus card and my real estate card. I was trying to sell him a house while he was here, but maybe this time I'll do it. But anyways, I told them we're going to be diamonds, so you're going to see us. And that's the deal. I believe it, and I want my team to believe it. And because I don't want to do this by myself. You think I want to be a diamond by myself? No way. I'm going to take all my ambassadors with me. So. And we can all do it, but Jody is absolutely right. You got to think positive. You got to be positive. You got to present it positively, and it'll work for you. So
another thing I notice about Michele is that you are just so full of energy, and that's contagious. So I see you you're ready to go out and go partying, which I am too. So if you guys are every day, if you're not feeling as good as we are, then you need to switch your products around, switch the timing around, get with your sponsor and say, you know what, I want to feel like Jody and Michele. What are they on? If you're not feeling good, you need to be your own advocate and do something about it to change it. Because you guys, I went a full year where I was in a really dark place, and you switch your products around, and that's all it could take to get you feeling amazing. So
don't hesitate to drink a second Slim. I do that occasionally. When the afternoon gets here and you kind of just feeling, I don't know, but maybe you're just lacking a little energy, which that doesn't happen to me that often. And I have to tell you, I wasn't feeling like this in October. So, I owe this and how great I feel to Plexus. So, I have never really felt better in my whole entire life. So that says a lot.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I know that we went off. I'm just going to stop the recording. Anybody can get off that wants to get off, but I know I can stay on a little bit longer and answer questions. If you guys want to unmute yourself and just ask questions, I'm just going to stop the recording. Michele, thank you for being awesome and hopping on this with me tonight.